Alaikum. How are you? Alhamdulillah, much better now. Did you guys renew the line?
Huh?
Who did the vacuumed and did the
No,
line?
somebody when I came here, they did it.
That's awesome. I'd like to know who did it. MashaAllah.
So
I'd love to know who did that. That's awesome.
how's Kaden?
He's good.
He's good.
Everybody, he is. The Caden was fine. Caden, then me, and my wife. I've been out. You ever noticed I've been video?
That's what I was thinking about it. Like,
Yeah, I've been sick for 5 days.
Oh boy.
I had the flu.
Now you're better?
Alhamdulillah.
I was thinking nobody's there. Do we have Jumu'ah? So I thought, okay, let me pray it and I'll text you.
Yeah, Jumu'ah's still on. Jumu'ah is still on. Testing 1 2. Testing 1 2 3. Never did this. Allah. Called you done?
No, I did not.
Okay. Do you want to call it?
No, you can call it.
No, just call it because I have to change the salat timing. It's okay. Bismillah. I'll call when everybody's here. So I go. I'm like, I don't think people understand it's Friday today.
When I was telling you, Mark, if you're late, next time there's going to be a huge fine.
You won't find right now.
Why?
You
I'm the first one to enter the masjid.
Alhamdulillah. Yeah, much better. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah, much better. Inshallah, much better.
Good.
That enough for me? Away from the wall. Yeah. Get a feel for it so we can kind of get a good estimate for everyone else. You feel comfortable? You can put this underneath.
No, it's good.
Do you feel comfortable away from the wall?
Yeah, yeah.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمد رسول الله أشهد أن محمد رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله. You don't mind, we'll give it a couple minutes.
Yeah.
Nobody's.
For sure.
Yeah. Wait till the fire.
Oh no.
Everybody left, mashallah. We have a blessed community here. So, like, I'm Harun. Harun, nice to meet you. Very nice. Are you working around here, Harun?
Yes, I'm a dentist.
Mashallah, where at?
It's just down the street, actually on 380. It's called the Dental Depot.
Okay.
Yeah, have you seen that? There's like a train outside it. It's what is it? Naval, corner of Naval and 380.
Oh, okay. Very nice. No, we also have another brother here. We also have another brother here who is from Kidsania. Are you familiar with him? Brother Dr. Sam?
I just moved here from Illinois.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What part of Illinois? Chicago area?
Right by St. Louis.
Actually, that's where I'm from.
Oh, you are?
Well, I lived in St. Louis before I moved here about a year ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm from O'Fallon, Illinois.
O'Fallon, Illinois. Wow,
Yeah.
my neck of the woods. So, pretty fun. We'll get started, but I would love to catch up with you. Yeah. Is it for kids as well, or?
Yeah.
Where are you hiding, man? I didn't see you. No, mine was quiet. Oh, yeah.
This is just here for, kind of have to pick up some extra. Okay. We don't have to get this. Inshallah.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمد رسول الله أشهد أن محمد رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله
الحمد لله وثم الحمد لله. الحمد لله الذي هدانا لهذا وما كنا لنهتدي لولا أن هدانا الله. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له، له الملك وله الحمد، يحيي ويميت وهو حي لا يموت، بيده الخير وهو على كل شيء قدير. وأشهد أن سيدنا وحبيبنا ونبينا محمدا عبده ورسوله وصفيه وخليله، أدى الأمانة وبلغ الرسالة ونصح الأمة، فعليه أفضل الصلاة والسلام، وعلى آله وصحبه ومن استنى بسنته إلى يوم الدين. اللهم اجعلنا منهم ومن الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر. آمين يا رب العالمين. أما بعد عباد الله، يقول سبحانه وتعالى في كتابه المجيد بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم: يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. وقال تعالى: يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا. وقال تعالى: يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما. ثم أما بعد، إن أصدق الحديث كتاب الله وخير الهدي هدي محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وشر الأمور محدثاتها وكل محدثة بدعة وكل بدعة ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار أو كما قال عليه الصلاة والسلام. We start off by praising Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We praise Him and we glorify Him subhanahu. And we bear witness and we testify that there is no deity, there is no God, there is nothing worthy of worship except Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the King of all kings, the Master of the Day of Judgment, the all-seeing, the all-hearing, the all-knowing, the most merciful, the most gracious, the most forbearing. And we testify that Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is His slave and final messenger, the greatest man to walk the face of the earth, the man that was sent to perfect character, and he alayhi salatu wasalam has the best character. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to send His peace and blessings upon His final messenger Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, his family and his companions and those that followed him, and we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make us amongst them. Allahumma ameen. As to what follows, brothers and sisters, inshallah, with the little bit of time that we have today, I would just like to remind myself and everyone else here, inshallah, today of the importance of the very, very, very big blessing that we just entered upon today. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah, it is such a blessing that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has allowed us to live to see these days. SubhanAllah, with all the excitement that comes with Ramadan and everything that goes on with Ramadan, and even away from the religious aspect in which we take our own selves to another level, we try to become closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in Ramadan, be it fasting during the day or our prayers at night. Many people afterwards neglect the amazing bounty that is these days that we just entered upon. SubhanAllah. And that is why it's crucial for all of us to take the reminder of the very great blessing that it is these 10 days of Dhul-Hijjah. First and foremost, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala swears by the nights of these 10 days. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والفجر وليال عشر. If you look in the tafsir, many of the tafsir, they relate that these 10 nights that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala swears by are the 10 nights of the 10 days of Dhul-Hijjah, because of the great bounty and the great blessing that is in these days. And we know, of course, the very famous hadith from the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam, in which he said, ما من أيام عمل الصالح فيها أحب إلى الله من هذه الأيام، يعني العشرة. قالوا يا رسول الله ولا الجهاد في سبيل الله؟ قال ولا الجهاد في سبيل الله إلا رجل خرج بنفسه وماله فلم يرجع من ذلك بشيء. الله أكبر. Subhanallah. Very, very amazing hadith. This is how we know that these 10 days are special. The Prophet ﷺ, he said, and this is narrated Ibn Abbas radiallahu anhu, and the hadith is sahih. There are no days during which righteous deeds are more beloved to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There are no days in which righteous deeds are more beloved to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala than in these 10 days. And the Sahaba, they asked the Prophet ﷺ, not even jihad for the cause of Allah, not even someone striving for themselves for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, going out and on the battlefield striving for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, is that not even worth more than the blessings and the good deeds that you can do in these days? And the Prophet ﷺ, he said, no, not even jihad fi sabilillah, except in one case, the person who went for jihad fi sabilillah with his livelihood, with his wealth, with everything. He took himself and everything that he had, and he went to go fight for the cause of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and he did not return with anything. He didn't return with his wealth, and he didn't return with his life. That is the only case that the Prophet is mentioning here. What we take from it is that these 10 days are special. That any good deed that we do in these days are more beloved to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They're more beloved to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So any good deed that we've been doing since Ramadan, now is a chance for us to multiply those deeds, to continuously do them more, so that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can allow us to benefit and reward us more, inshallah wa ta'ala. And just a few things that we'll cover, inshallah, of what we can do in these 10 days. First and foremost, the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he said in a hadith, من صام يوما في سبيل الله بعد الله وجهه عن النار 70 خريفا. The Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, not just specific to these 10 days, but in a general statement, saying that anyone who fasts for the sake of Allah, so any day of the year you choose to fast for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will keep His face away from the hellfire, a distance that is covered by a journey of over 70 years. Think about a journey that takes 70 years. I don't even think we can think that. It's a lifetime. Think about traveling somewhere your entire life. If you were to fast just one day, just wanting the reward of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, doing it just solely for Allah's sake and Allah's pleasure, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will keep your face from hellfire that distance. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allow all of us to benefit from this. Allahumma ameen. So fasting is highly, highly recommended in these days, brothers and sisters. Especially as we know the day of Arafah. And we have another very common hadith, famous hadith that we've heard, in which the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he said, صيام يوم عرفة إني أحتسب على الله أن يكفر السنة التي قبله والتي بعده. Fasting on the day of Arafah, I hope from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, expiates for the sins of this year and the year after. Can you imagine? Can you imagine getting all of your minor sins forgiven, the upcoming year and the previous year, just for fasting the day of Arafah? SubhanAllah. May Allah allow us, none of us, to miss out on the opportunity. Allahumma ameen. As we know, brothers and sisters, this is a blessed time. Many of our brothers and sisters are now traveling on this journey of a lifetime of Hajj. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to accept all of their Hajj. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to allow them to return back safely and with an accepted Hajj. Allahumma ameen. But many Muslims, maybe they feel that if they were not on that special invite list to go to Hajj, that there is nothing special left for us. We have a Eid coming up and we'll celebrate that day, but maybe there's nothing special for us. No. These days are special for everyone. And including Arafah for those people who are going to be fasting on that day. And we also know that making dua on the day of Arafah, even if you are not on Arafah, inshallah ta'ala, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will accept it. So we have these next 9 days, including today, to make as much benefit as we can. And inshallah ta'ala, next Saturday, which will be the day of Arafah, everyone is encouraged to fast, inshallah. Next, so we know fasting is extremely highly recommended and highly rewardable. What about salah? How have we been doing with our prayer since Ramadan? Have we tapered off? Has it come back to how it was before Ramadan began? This is an opportunity for us, inshallah ta'ala, to pick it back up where we left off. The Prophet ﷺ, he mentions in a hadith that there are 2 prayers that are very hard on the hypocrites, the munafiqun. Salat al-Fajr in Jumu'ah and Salat al-Isha in Jumu'ah. These 2 prayers are extremely hard for the munafiqun because it's the most inconvenient time to go pray. But that is why, brothers and sisters, it's the most rewardable. Putting in that sacrifice to go pray Salat al-Isha and Salat al-Fajr in Jumu'ah is highly, highly rewardable. And the Prophet ﷺ, he said that had they known the virtue of these 2 prayers in Jumu'ah, they would go even if they would need to crawl. Allahu Akbar. Now, had we truly understood the greatness of praying Salat al-Fajr and Salat al-Isha in Jumu'ah, we do anything we can to come to the masjid even if we had to cross. It just goes to show how much we don't know and how much we lack in our iman. But the Prophet ﷺ said this. These are his words, alayhi salatu wasalam. So we reflect on that. Because we knew the Prophet ﷺ understood the great virtue of these prayers. And we believe him, alayhi salatu wasalam. So when we hear him say these words, it's a moment of us to reflect. It's a moment of us to analyze ourselves and what we've been doing. And it's a moment for us to pick ourselves back up and to come back and to make sure that we're praying on time. Even for whatever reason, if we can't pray in Jumu'ah, brothers and sisters, we should at least catch the prayer in its right time, not delaying the prayer. When the time for prayer has come, drop everything that you're doing, unless it's an emergency situation, and go and pray for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The Prophet ﷺ also mentions in the hadith the virtue of the first row, and how if the brothers and sisters would understand the virtues of praying in the first row, they would strive to getting it just like how the angels compete with each other. Yeah, and it's such a high reward for praying in the first row, and then every row afterwards. More reward the earlier you come, the more prepared you are for prayer. So we all have to get ourselves into that mindset, inshallah ta'ala. Another benefit that we can take from, especially in the weekend, brothers and sisters, the Prophet ﷺ mentions in a hadith that whoever prays Fajr in congregation in the masjid, and then sits remembering Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala until the sun has risen, and about 10-15 minutes afterwards, and then prays 2 rakahs of Salat al-Duha, he will get the reward of that which is Hajj and Umrah. Allah. And it's mentioned in this hadith that the Prophet ﷺ, he said, complete. Tammatin. Can you imagine just coming to the masjid for Fajr and staying a few hours? Not even a few hours, maybe an hour and a half tops. Wait for the sun to rise, 10-15 minutes after, and you're remembering Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala throughout this. What does it mean to remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Reading Quran, making dua, doing zikr, any one of these things until the sun has risen, and then you pray your 2 rakats al-duha, and then you get the reward of Hajj and Umrah. May Allah allow all of us to get benefit of this. Allahumma ameen. Now many people, they ask the question, does this count as if I went to do Hajj and Umrah? No, it does not count and strike off the obligated Hajj that you have upon you, that you still need to do. But the reward of Hajj and the reward of Umrah is written for you, inshallah ta'ala. Imagine the people that do that every day, or who can do that on the weekends. Right? May Allah allow all of us to benefit from that. Allahumma ameen. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives these great blessings, these great gems for us to take advantage of. This was the exact reason why, for example, when we know that the earlier civilizations and earlier generations of people, they lived longer lives. And many of the Sahaba, they were worried that they wouldn't be able to do as much good deeds or get as much reward because they wouldn't live as long. Right? In our lifetime, people don't live 600, 700, 800 years. As in the case of Nuh alayhi salam, for example. So the Sahaba, they went to the Prophet ﷺ and they asked him, what can we do to compete on that level if we can't live that long? And that's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent down this great blessing of Laylatul Qadr, the reward that's in it, خَيْرٌ مِنْ أَلْفِ شَهْرٍ. Right? You get these gems here and there throughout the year that if you take advantage of, you set yourself up for a great akhirah, inshallah ta'ala. May Allah allow all of us to benefit from it. Allahumma ameen. So it's fasting the day of Arafah. It's doing things like coming to the masjid for Fajr and staying until Duha. It's taking advantage of those things as much as we can. And just a comment also on Salat, praying at night as well, tahajjud, for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. For Ramadan, many of us, it was easy to get up. For one thing, we know with shaitan not being around, we didn't have that as much as an urge or a desire to just stay sleeping. There was barakah in Ramadan. It was easier to get up. When we knew we had to eat before Fajr kicked in, it was another motivator to get up. right? And so we were able to get up, and many of us were even able to pray before Fajr Adhan kicked in, right? Now it's a little more challenging. But you know, these 10 days are the best 10 days of the year, not 10 days of Ramadan. The last 10 nights of Ramadan are the best 10 nights of the year. But the best 10 days of the year are the ones we've just entered upon. So we need to push ourselves to wake up, even if it's before Fajr, and do our tahajjud and ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for anything that we want. Imam al-Shafi'i rahimahullah, he said that the dua made at night is like an arrow which does not miss its target. It's like an arrow which does not miss its target. The dua that a person makes, you're secluded, you're alone, you're isolated. Just you and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You're conversing with Him. And you're asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to relieve any difficulties that you're going through. You're asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bless you and to allow you to love Him more. Indeed, when you make these types of dua, especially in that type of moment in the night, the dua will be accepted, inshaAllah wa ta'ala. Next, brothers and sisters, we talked about Siyam and we talked about Salah. What about dhikr? The Prophet ﷺ, he said that there are no days on which good deeds are greater or more beloved to Allah than these 10 days. So recite much tahleel, takbir, and tahmeed. Saying Alhamdulillah, saying La ilaha illallah, saying Allahu Akbar, as much as you can throughout these next 9 and 10 days. As much as we can. If any of us are going back to work after this khutbah, as you're in the car going back to work, don't turn on the radio, do some tahmeed, do some tahleel, do some takbir. If there's any of us going back home, on our way back home, let us do this dhikr, inshaAllah wa ta'ala. As much as we can throughout these 9 days, let us do as much dhikr as we can so that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will reward us. And a few additional adhkar that we can make. The Prophet ﷺ said, "من قال لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له له الملك وله الحمد وهو على كل شيء قدير." Whoever says that dua 100 times a day, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give him 100 good deeds and will wipe away 100 of his sins. Imagine. So, and on top of that, the Prophet ﷺ, he said that on that day he will be protected from the morning until evening from shaitan. And no one will be superior to that person. Imagine. No one will be superior to that person except someone who did more than him. SubhanAllah. You want a competition? The winner of this competition gets to be the best person. The best person, as the Prophet mentioned in this hadith. Unless someone does more than you. That is the competition. This is what the Sahaba would compete for when it came to ibadah and good deeds. Striving to do as much as we can with the limited time that we have to do it, inshaAllah ta'ala. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to allow all of us to benefit from these blessed days. And I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to allow us to live, to fast the day of Arafah, and to enjoy, inshaAllah, Eid afterwards. أقول قولي هذا واستغفر الله لي ولكم ولسائر المسلمين فاستغفروه يغفر لكم إنه هو الغفور الرحيم. الحمد لله وثم الحمد لله. الحمد لله الذي هدانا لهذا وما كنا لنهتدي لولا أن هدانا الله وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. The last thing that I'll just comment on, brothers and sisters, the Prophet ﷺ, he said in hadith narrated by Aisha radiallahu anha, he said sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, there is no day on which Allah sets free more slaves from hell than the day of Arafah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala removes more people on this day from hellfire than any other day of the year. Now we know obviously a big part of that is because of everyone who's standing on Arafah, doing Hajj. But the Prophet ﷺ did not exclude everyone who is not on Arafah. It is the time in these days for us to seek forgiveness, to repent and do tawbah. Any sins that we've committed, minor or major, this is the time to ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to forgive those sins. And this is the time when we make those commitments to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that we will try to never return back to those sins. So let us all take advantage, inshallah, of these blessed days that are approaching. Again, the day of Arafah will be next Saturday, and Eid will be after that. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to accept from amongst us. Allahumma ameen. Inna Allah wa malaikatahu yusalluna ala nabi. يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم وبارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم في العالمين إنك حميد مجيد اللهم اغفر للمسلمين والمسلمات والمؤمنين والمؤمنات الأحياء منهم والأموات إنك سميع قريب مجيب الدعوات اللهم اغفر لنا وارحمنا واعف عنا ولا تعذبنا ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار ربنا ظلمنا أنفسنا وإن لم تغفر لنا وترحمنا لنكونن من الخاسرين ربنا هب لنا من أزواجنا وذرياتنا قرة أعين واجعلنا للمتقين إماما اللهم أعز الإسلام والمسلمين اللهم أعز الإسلام والمسلمين اللهم أعز الإسلام والمسلمين إن الله يأمر بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون اذكروا الله يذكركم ودعوه يستجب لكم ولذكر الله أكبر والله يعلم ما تصنعون وأقم الصلاة.
الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمد رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح قد قامت الصلاة قد قامت الصلاة الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله.
Please make sure your lines are straight, brothers and sisters. Please complete the rows before starting a new row. Please make sure the lines are straight. Allahu Akbar. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. سبح اسم ربك الأعلى الذي خلق فسوى والذي قدر فهدى والذي أخرج المرعى فجعله غثاء أحوى سنقرئك فلا تنسى إلا ما شاء الله إنه يعلم الجهر وما يخفى ونيسرك لليسرى فذكر إن نفعت الذكرى سيذكر من يخشى ويتجنبها الأشقى الذي يصلى النار الكبرى ثم لا يموت فيها ولا يحيا قد أفلح من تزكى وذكر اسم ربه فصلى بل تؤثرون الحياة الدنيا والآخرة خير وأبقى إن هذا لفي الصحف الأولى صحف إبراهيم وموسى. الله سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. إنا أعطيناك الكوثر فصل لربك وانحر إن شانئك هو الأبتر. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. الله.
Well, I've done it. I just need to write it down. Wait, wait. Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, I'm like, wait, what? Wait, yeah, we're supposed to write it down. Dude, we're supposed to write down. What? No, I just read it. I'm done. Well, I mean, you were kind of running behind us. Yeah.
I know you are. I know. A lot of people Then, no, I seriously want to know. Whoever did it, right? You don't did it. No, I want to know.
I did.
Seriously, this is the, first of all.
It took me forever to take it off. Real old tape. It was bad.
I think
This one was easy to put it on.
I think this tape is better because I think this one will come up easier, and I think it's easier to put down. It's not as it's more movable. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So I agree with this. But it looks just look at it. But my point is, it looks like a brand new car. You made it look a million times better. And I was wondering, who did it? You still get the full ledger. Nobody, I brought you out. I'm the one who made it clear to me. But this is, mashallah, mashallah, may Allah reward you. Many factors. I mean, I came in here, I'm like, they changed the carpet? How did it? Looks pretty much. When did you go back? You too. Yeah.
Well, I've been telling these guys, I'll be in Plano the next few days. Long story short, wife scrambled and came back to go. When was your last one? I'll be around the area. I'm doing it here. Okay.
Yeah, I've been MIA since yeah, but I made sure because I was gonna come yesterday because I was better yesterday. And just in case so I'm not regretting anything, I just stayed home all day again yesterday. And then today I actually made dua. When I was told that fine by tomorrow, but I also made dua that Allah does not make it easy for me to come to Jumu'ah. It was so good for me. And my wife was supposed to take the car, and the worry was that she might not be back in time for me to go to Jumu'ah. So I made the dua. I'm like, Allah will make it easy. Guess what? She has the bad migraine this morning. She couldn't leave, so the car was mine. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made it clear to me that it's okay to go into the town. You know what I mean? But alhamdulillah,
I did.
I went.
They hide it from a little kid.
You said the dua 100 times?
No, he learned the other dua.
Ah, mashallah. Good job.
Very rewarding.
Mashallah.
Good job. Good job. I stayed every day. Every day. I stayed.
You can be there tomorrow? So, yeah, because I'm going to be in Essex tomorrow. That's why I asked. Tomorrow, I'm going to be well, I was, I have to plug in the leader.
Yes. Are you talking about the Dawa? You are.
No, I'm actually, I was going to, you know, brother, invited me for dinner. And then there were two birds with one stone because he got the plug in Wednesday to Saturday. But Wednesday was the last program. So, but I don't know, we're still going to do all my obligations.
Have you gone to Epic before?
I've been at it. Yeah, I've been at it before. But I think the message that I was trying to
Where are you going?
I came down. That's the message that I'm trying to do. And that's subhanAllah. Here we're just not. And then you have to bring some brothers with you.
I'll show you here.
That's more under I
Yes. You mark that in. Assalamu alaikum. I'm sorry, where did you get that one?
Oh, it's in French. Oh, thank you. Hey, look. Get out of here. Get out of here.
And
Hi, are you working today? No. Let's go, tomorrow, are you going to be at class?
Yeah.
Do you want to do something tomorrow? I don't know, we're going to go do something like sit down and talk to or smoothie, or we're going to go to do something fun. You know? We won't go to the gun.
we won't go to the interview.
Okay. Okay. If you're interested, I think we haven't chilled out in a while.
Yeah, that's fine. We'll see how it goes tomorrow. How long the class is.
But, yeah. Okay. Fair enough. This looks great, man. Did you do it by yourself or do you have any help?
Yeah, I did by myself, that's what happened. So I started it. For pro. Forever, it's hard to take it off.
Yeah.
That's why I should go break them up, bring them over here. And I'm like, nah, I gotta finish it now. I started it. Then I did this side, I was like, they don't need them. Oh, you know, but no, then I was like, not interested. So I did that side.
Nice. Alhamdulillah. Yeah. What's the yeah, it's West County. They call it West County. So anything west of St. Louis, far enough west, let's call it 25 miles, it's called West County. They just call that, but it's still St. Louis County. Chesterfield's a well off to do area. Now Chesterfield, is it everything? What is it in a hotel? What is it you're going for? Oh, they're already shipping to a client? Wow. So that's why. Who are you working with again? Deloitte? Okay. So I took the personality assessment, so I skipped the first name. It was just the first part of it was like, there was like maybe 150 words. There are. There's two parts. So the first part was like a page of a bunch of different words. Nice, pleasant, talkative, confrontational, all these things. And which ones would your friends describe? And then you click next, and it's like, which ones would you describe yourself as the same words? Then you send that in, and it's done. And now it gives you a second assessment, and the second assessment is like, they give you two shapes. How are these two shapes the same as these two shapes? And then you have to pick something. And which one is the smallest? It'll say a quarter plus 0.1, half minus 0.3, these choices, and which one is the smallest? Just random, like, it was almost seemed like an IQ test. So, and you have 12 minutes to finish 50 questions. I was able to do 28 questions in 12 minutes. And these are thinkers. These aren't just like quick. You have to, there's a few of them where you have to read a paragraph. So yeah, you're not supposed to finish. It even says you're not supposed to finish 50. Just try to get them right. So I don't know how I did. I hope it doesn't harm me to get a job. I don't know. I don't understand why they do that. I'm curious. I mean, you being in this, having experience in HR. Not in consulting. But I'm not. Yeah, but I don't understand why. Oh, by the way, they're priming me to be one of their advanced contacts. I think that's good. Yeah, good because you're gonna go straight to training. I think you were right. They're gonna put me in at 8 p.m. right away, and then. So for the next 4 months, 5 months is a training. So that's cool. So 8 yeah, and then I get paid. You don't think they'll put me in front of a customer too while I train? No. It's just gonna straight all the way to that part. Well, what's between? It's just 8 p.m. then 4 and then. You're gonna have 8 p.m. and 8 p.m. Okay. And then 4 comp. That's gonna take 5 months. Yeah, because it's heavy. It's not like 1 week. I understand. This year, by the way, I left it here. This week ago. It's okay. My class is back. No problem. But that makes sense scheduling. But in between, they're gonna have to put me into it. Is that yours? Left here. Yeah. Okay. So it's gonna be training for tonight. Sure. Well, that was great. And by then, because of the way we already did all of this, all this will be like pushing. That's what I'm telling you. Like, you're gonna know. Just try to do what I'm not. Okay. I'll do my best. But yeah, they really need for some. The lady I met with the second interviewer, she's the only one with an advanced